In this video, we're going to be looking at 7 words connected with comparing and contrasting things. And here are your 7 words: complement, converse, differentiate, diverse, mirror, resemble, and synonymous. So our first word here is complement. Complement. If people or things complement each other, they are different or they do something differently. And this makes them a good combination. So they complement each other. So 2 people with different skills that help the other person, those 2 people complement each other very well. They go together. Complement. Note the spelling. There's an E here. So a complement with an E is what we're looking at, but complement with an I is when you say something nice to somebody. So they're 2 completely different words. Here's some example sentences for you. There will be a written test to complement the practical test. So the written test and the practical test go together. They support each other to assess the student. Their academic programme is complemented by a wide range of sporting and cultural activities. And some synonyms: complemented by. You can have something that perfectly complements. So you often complement something. And you can have complementary skills. So complementary is the adjective form of complement. So it's a verb, so complements, complemented. And then there's complementary, the adjective form. And some synonyms for complement: accompany, add to, augment, and enhance, and supplement. Supplement is a slightly different meaning though. It means adding to rather than going together, but it's a medium close synonym there. Here's the next word: converse. Converse. So the converse of a statement is its opposite or reverse. Now, when writing, you can use conversely to introduce a completely opposite idea or situation. So basically we're talking about opposites. Converse. Not converse, by the way. Converse is what we're looking at. Converse is when you have a conversation with somebody. So for this particular word, you put the stress on the first syllable. So for example, your job affects where you live, and the converse is true. Where you live affects what job you will have. If taxes are high, savings will be low. Conversely, if taxes are low, savings will be high. They may reduce the activity of certain hormones, or conversely, they may cause excessive hormonal activity. So we often have the converse of something. So the converse is true is a very common phrase. So conversely is the adjective. And some synonyms. On the other hand is a good phrase to use. And opposite, of course, opposite. Here's your next word: differentiate. Differentiate. So if you differentiate between different things, you recognise or you show the difference between them. So you recognise differences between things, between people. So you can work out what's different about them, how they differ. So for example, a baby can differentiate between a smile and a frown. A child may not be able to differentiate between his imagination and the real world. They can't tell the real world apart from the fantasy world in their heads. Their brand was not differentiated enough from the competition. Now, in this third sentence, differentiate here is about a quality or a feature. So, the brand of the company, the quality, it's not different enough to that of the competition. So we can use differentiate for qualities as well. And here are some common collocations. You differentiate between things. You differentiate something from something else. You can have a differentiated product or a differentiating factor. And some forms: differentiates, differentiating, differentiated, differentiated. And differentiation is the process of trying to see the differences between people or things. And some synonyms: distinguish, and you point out differences. And your next word is diverse. Diverse. If a group or a range of things is diverse, it's made up of a wide variety of things, different things. So, for example, the country has a diverse range of habitats. Society is now much more diverse than ever before. The programme is enjoyed by a very diverse audience. And some common collocations: ethnically diverse, culturally diverse. You can have a diverse background, a diverse group. And we also talk about diversity. So diversity is a noun. And there's a verb as well: diversify. So diversifies, diversifying, diversified. And some synonyms for diverse: varied, differing, distinct, and assorted. Often with boxes of chocolates, you have an assorted box of chocolates. Lots of diverse chocolates. Here's your next word: mirror. Mirror. If something mirrors something else, then it has similar features to it. So it seems like a copy of that thing. It's like resemble or reflect. There are two things that mirror each other. So, for example, the story mirrors many of my own experiences. So my own experiences and the story are very similar. The debate over immigration often mirrors the debate over assimilation. And you can closely mirror, exactly mirror, or perfectly mirror, almost mirror. And it's a verb, so mirrors, mirroring, mirrored. And some synonyms for mirror: resemble, reflect, seem like, echo, embody, epitomize, epitomize. And a word that's very similar to mirror is resemble. Resemble. So if a thing or person resembles another, they are very similar to each other. So these two girls resemble each other, probably because they're twins. And some example sentences: some commercially produced venison resembles beef in flavour. It is true that both therapies do closely resemble each other. There was a remarkable resemblance between the two books. So resemblance is the noun form. You can closely resemble or strongly resemble. You often have a resemblance between things, and you can bear a resemblance. So somebody bears a resemblance to somebody else if they look almost the same. And it's a noun: resembles, resembling, resembled. And there's your noun as well: resemblance, resemblance. And some synonyms: look like, act like, be like. Here's echo again: be similar to. And your next word: synonymous. Synonymous. If you say that one thing is synonymous with another thing, you mean that the two things are very closely associated. So, for example, Paris is synonymous with elegance, with luxury, with style, with love as well. So Paris is synonymous with those things. It's the city of love. Here you are. In politics, power and popularity are rarely synonymous, so they don't go together. Champagne is synonymous with celebration. So here's a very common collocation: synonymous with. So for example, synonymous with quality, synonymous with wealth. So something can be synonymous. It is synonymous. Paris is synonymous with love. And some synonyms: equates with, identical. These are all, of course, synonyms for synonymous. And you've got interrelated, interchangeable, the same as, identified with. So Paris is identified with love. So there are your 7 words for comparing and contrasting things: complement, converse, differentiate, diverse, mirror, resemble, synonymous.